The fourth planet belonged to a businessman. This person was so busy that he didn't even raise his head when the little prince arrived. "Hello," said the little prince. "Your cigarette's gone out." 3 and 5, 5, 7, 12, 12, and 30, 15. Hello, 15, 7, 22, 26, 26, 21. No time to light it again. 26 and 2, 5, 2. That amounts to 501,622,735. 500 million what? Yes, yeah. 501 million. I don't remember. I have so much work to do. I'm a serious man. I can't be bothered with trifles. 2 and 5, 7, 5. 501 million what? Repeated the little prince, who had never in his life let go of a question once he had asked it. The businessman raised his head. "For the 54 years I've inhabited this planet, I've been interrupted only 3 times. The first time was 22 years ago when I was interrupted by a beetle that had fallen onto my desk from God knows where. It made a terrible noise, and I made 4 mistakes in my calculations. The second time was 11 years ago when I was interrupted by a bit of rheumatism. I don't get enough exercise. I haven't time to take strolls. I'm a serious person. The third time is right now. Where was I? 501 million. Million what? The businessman realized that he had no hope of being left in peace. "Oh, those little things you sometimes see in the sky." "Flies?" "No, those little shiny things." "Bees?" "No, those little golden things that make lazy people daydream. Now, I'm a serious person. I have no time for daydreaming." "Oh, you mean the stars?" "Yes, that's it, the stars." "And what do you do with 500 million stars?" 501,622,731. I'm a serious person, and I'm accurate." "And what do you do with the stars?" "What do I do with them?" "Yes." "Nothing. I own them." "You own the stars?" "Yes." "But I've already seen a king who—" "Kings don't own. They reign. It's quite different." "And what good does owning the stars do you?" "It does me the good of being rich." "And what good does it do you to be rich?" "It lets me buy other stars if somebody discovers them." The little prince said to himself, "This man argues a little like the drunkard." Nevertheless, he asked more questions. "How can someone own the stars?" "To whom do they belong?" retorted the businessman grumpily. "I don't know. Nobody." "Then they belong to me, because I thought of it first." "And that's all it takes?" "Of course. When you find a diamond that belongs to nobody in particular, then it's yours. When you find an island that belongs to nobody in particular, it's yours. When you're the first person to have an idea, you'll patent it, and it's yours. Now I own the stars, since no one before me ever thought of owning them." "That's true enough," the little prince said. "And what do you do with them?" "I manage them. I count them and then count them again," the businessman said. "It's difficult work, but I'm a serious person." The little prince was still not satisfied. "If I own a scarf, I can tie it around my neck and take it away. If I own a flower, I can pick it and take it away. But you can't pick the stars." "No, but I can put them in the bank." "What does that mean?" "That means that I write the number of my stars on a slip of paper, and that I lock that slip of paper in a drawer." "And that's all?" "That's enough." "That's amusing," thought the little prince, "and even poetic, but not very serious." The little prince had very different ideas about serious things from those of the grown-ups. "I own a flower, myself," he continued, "which I water every day. I own 3 volcanoes, which I rake out every week. I even rake out the extinct one. You never know. So it's of some use to my volcanoes, and it's useful to my flower that I own them. But you're not useful to the stars." The businessman opened his mouth but found nothing to say in reply, and the little prince went on his way. "Grown-ups are certainly quite extraordinary," was all he said to himself as he continued on his journey. The 5th planet was very strange. It was the smallest of all. There was just enough room for a street lamp and a lamplighter. The little prince couldn't quite understand what use a street lamp and a lamplighter could be up there in the sky, on a planet without any people and not a single house. However, he said to himself, "It's quite possible that this man is absurd, but he's less absurd than the king, the very vain man, the businessman, and the drunkard. At least his work has some meaning. When he lights his lamp, it's as if he's bringing one more star to life, or one more flower. When he puts out his lamp, that sends the flower or the star to sleep, which is a fine occupation, and therefore truly useful." When the little prince reached this planet, he greeted the lamplighter respectfully. "Good morning. Why have you just put out your lamp?" "Orders," the lamplighter answered. "Good morning." "What orders are those?" "To put out my street lamp. Good evening." And he lit his lamp again. "But why have you just lit your lamp again?" "Orders." "I don't understand," said the little prince. "There's nothing to understand," said the lamplighter. "Orders are orders. Good morning." And he put out his lamp. Then he wiped his forehead with a red checked handkerchief. "It's a terrible job I have. It used to be reasonable enough. I put the lamp out mornings and lit it after dark. I had the rest of the day for my own affairs, and the rest of the night for sleeping." "And since then orders have changed?" "Orders haven't changed," the lamplighter said. "That's just the trouble. Year by year the planet is turning faster and faster, and orders haven't changed." "Which means?" "Which means that now that the planet revolves once a minute, I don't have an instant's rest. I light my lamp and turn it out once every minute." "That's funny. Your days here are 1 minute long?" "It's not funny at all," the lamplighter said. "You and I have already been talking to each other for a month." "A month?" "Yes, 30 minutes, 30 days. Good evening." And he lit his lamp. The little prince watched him, growing fonder and fonder of this lamplighter who was so faithful to orders. He remembered certain sunsets that he himself used to follow in other days merely by shifting his chair. He wanted to help his friend. "You know, I can show you a way to take a rest whenever you want to." "I always want to rest," the lamplighter said, for it is possible to be faithful and lazy at the same time. The little prince continued. "Your planet is so small that you can walk around it in 3 strides. All you have to do is walk more slowly, and you'll always be in the sun. When you want to take a rest, just walk, and the day will last as long as you want it to." "What good does it do me," the lamplighter said, "when the one thing in life I want to do is sleep?" "Then you're out of luck," said the little prince. "I am," said the lamplighter. "Good morning." And he put out his lamp. "Now that man," the little prince said to himself as he continued on his journey, "that man would be despised by all the others, by the king, by the very vain man, by the drunkard, by the businessman. Yet he is the only one who doesn't strike me as ridiculous. Perhaps it's because he's thinking of something besides himself." He heaved a sigh of regret and said to himself again, "That man is the only one I might have made my friend, but his planet is really too small. There's not room for 2. What the little prince dared not admit was that he most regretted leaving that planet because it was blessed with 1,440 sunsets every 24 hours.